people who like being busy. Watu wa Vietnam wamekaa Malaysia.
Hello guys, we are in Da Nang.
Tuko Da Nang.
Tuko Da
Watu wa
Nang.
Vietnam ndio content creators ndio hawa. Walikuwa wagonjwa 2 days. Sasa tuko inaitwa Bejaya. Tuko Bejaya Hotel. Let me That's Bejaya Hotel in Times Square. Beautiful place. Let me show you that. That is the Twin Towers. I've been here before. That's Pavilion. And that's where you go if you want to view the whole of Malaysia. I hope you guys can hear me. It's a bit noisy here, but yeah, that's town, that's Pavilion, that's Twin Towers. Petronas, one of the best attraction sites in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Anyways, guys, I'm showing you this, but I should be telling you why I'm in Malaysia instead of Vietnam. Let me give you the story, guys. That's nice. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. So, sitting in Malaysia instead of Vietnam, Da Nang. This is life. This is the life. Ooh, look at that, look at that. Oh, look at that. Anyways, let me get my earphones. Hold on, people. Let me get my what do you call them? Transmitters. Connected now. Connected. So why am I in Malaysia instead of Vietnam? The GC trip for 2025 July was meant to do Thailand, Cambodia, and then Vietnam, Da Nang. So we were going to Bangkok in Thailand, then Phuket in Thailand, then we go to Cambodia, Siem Reap, and then that's the southern part of Cambodia. The capital is Phnom Penh. We were not going to the capital, so no, we were going to a different place, the place with the best temples. I think I have a video on Cambodia, so you'll get to see all that. But why are we in now Malaysia? We ended up in Malaysia. It wasn't part of the plan. Interesting story, so get ready. This is traveling diaries, guys. This is how traveling goes. You have to be open-minded. You have to be ready. Anyways, so 3 countries we were supposed to do this time. We always try to do 3 or 2 countries depending on where we're going to and the visa restrictions and stuff like that, because we have lots of people with Kenyan passports. And so we always just try to do 3 countries so that we do it once. This year we've done many countries, like I mentioned before. This is just one. There are other countries coming up. There's Qatar, there's Bahrain, there's Zambia coming up later in December. Then we also have, I think that's it for this year. Next year we have the Euro tour for gene coaching. So yeah, there are lots of trips to look forward to. But I'm glowing after resting. It's been a busy 2 weeks. Today I'm just chilling. Today I'm just enjoying the weather in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. I'm enjoying the views, I'm enjoying the swimming pool, I'm enjoying the hotel facilities, which I never get to enjoy when I travel or adventures. Anyways, so let me say, why are we here in Malaysia? So we had that trip of Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam. Yeah. So when we did that trip, we had problem with Thailand visas, but we managed to get all of them. Then we had issues with Cambodian visas delaying. Then we got all of them. Then we had issues with Vietnam visas, which was the most difficult one. Unashanga kila mtu anafanya video. Ha? Ameenda huko kuwatafuta. Ushabook? Ushabook? Umebook? Umebook? Okay, sawa. Tafuta pesa ya kubook. Ya kulipa? Nikulipie some of your money? Haya. Anyway, so guys, sorry for the interruption. What was I saying? So we were supposed to get our visas to Vietnam, right? Most people have Kenyan passports. Now Vietnam has a problem. People don't get their results. People don't get their visas, and most people get rejections, or it can take months and months and months with no response, right? Same thing happened. But when you go online, they say you can actually get this visa on arrival. You just need to have a letter, right? You need to have a letter from an agent called visa approval letter, and then you can get the visa on arrival. So we thought, you know what? We are already in Cambodia. Vietnam is across the border. Why not arrive at the airport and see if we can get this visa on arrival? Lo and behold, we boarded the flights. We get to Vietnam. I won't say how we boarded the flight. We get to Vietnam, and they say, no, we can't get the visa on arrival. I don't want to go into the details because it's a bit of a legal issue. But they say, hey, guys, you cannot come here because you don't have a visa on arrival facility for Kenyans. Now, one thing is that Kenyans seem to have been banned in so many places. There's just something with Kenya. So there was a long line of people with the visa on arrival that get their visas on arrival in Vietnam. But they just said Kenya is a no-no, and they were not willing to listen to anything. So obviously, I don't have that problem. But then I lead the team. We lead the team, and so we had to be kind of taken back to Siem Reap. By law, you have to go back to where you came from, right? They have to put you on a flight back to where you came from. So of course, it's a difficult thing. It's a disheartening thing. People are not happy, but we are travelers. We have also done life coaching, so we know how to deal with these situations. These are part of life situations. They happen. We don't mind it. It's part of the journey, part of the process, part of the experience. You think about it, you sit down and learn your lessons from that. We now learn lessons that number one, Kenya seems to be on the red list in Vietnam. So Kenyan passport is just a no-no. Kenyan passport is a no-no in Vietnam. So yeah, we had to leave Vietnam on the same flight. We tried to speak to them because there were actually 2 people who got their visas, but then the embassy made a mistake and put the wrong dates on the visa. They were denied, despite them seeing a system showing application and everything. And remember, everyone who went on that flight had made application for a Vietnamese visa. So there was a pending application at the time we were arriving in Vietnam. But they still said, no way you entering the country. We tried to get an agent. They said, if you want to get that approval letter, you have to get an agent within Vietnam, not outside Vietnam. You have to get an agent in Vietnam to give you that visa approval letter, and they will call that agent when you get to the airport before you fill the visa application form. So Vietnam is not that simple for Kenyans to get into. I think it was before, many years back, it was, but there has been some issues with Kenyans and Nigerians. And I called, while at the airport, I called a number of agents in Vietnam. They allowed me time to try and get an agent in Vietnam. All of them, when they had which nationality, they just ask you, what's the nationality? I say Kenya. Wanakwambia, no way, we're not doing Kenya. Sorry, but we can't help you with that. Kenya is just a no-no. I asked so many people. I contacted all the people I could contact in Vietnam. We were denied entry. I had to lead my team back to the flight and back to Siem Reap. And then there are a lot of details around there, and how it becomes an immigration issue. It becomes a bit of a legal issue, but yeah, we handled it quite well. They were quite understanding as well, because then the rules are not very clear. If you go online, actually, it can say that, hey, you can get your visa on arrival in Vietnam. It says that. So we were banking on that small streak of luck or of information, but it didn't work out, you know. And these things, you don't kill yourself for them. I'm not someone who, I think I'm grounded enough not to kill myself for one simple misstep or one thing that doesn't work. If you're going to complain or stop everything because one thing didn't work, then you're not fit to travel. Traveling has a lot of twists and turns. You need to trust your guts. You need to go with the flow. You need to roll with the punches. That's how traveling is. So as the coaches that we are, we took our team, got back on the flight, went back to Siem Reap in Cambodia, got back into the country, spent the night there, enjoyed that night, had good food as usual in Cambodia. And then we started to strategize on the next day. The next day we decided, hey, we have to go somewhere else. And there were so many people on the team that haven't been to Malaysia. And they were overjoyed to come to Malaysia. So yeah, we found a flight then that same day to leave Siem Reap, Cambodia, to come to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And we flew in here on that day. And here we are, enjoying Malaysia. Not worrying about the mistakes we've made, or whining or complaining or sad or depressed about the flights that we're gonna miss and the money we've lost, because we had booked accommodation in Vietnam, a nice luxurious accommodation, luxurious villas. We had booked our transportation, tour guide. By the time we were being denied entry, our person who is supposed to be taking us on the tour was waiting at the airport to pick us up to the hotel, to the villa, not hotel, the villa. So everything was paid for, arranged. We had to lose all that. We had to pay the ticket for the return to Cambodia because the flight doesn't give you that for free. You have to get that ticket when you get to Cambodia. You have to pay the airline. And then we also had to book new flights to Kuala Lumpur, book a new accommodation in Kuala Lumpur, find how to reroute our flights from Bangkok to Nairobi, to be from Kuala Lumpur, Singapore to Nairobi, which isn't easy. Some of them say no. So when they say no, you have to book new flights. There are so many things that's changed. With that little denial of entry, a lot of things change. And as someone who has traveled the world so much, now I've done over probably 120 countries, I know what happens, I know what to expect when you travel. Everything doesn't go as expected, everything doesn't go as planned. There are missteps, there are laws, there are regulations, there are visa issues, and there are lots of stuff that can go wrong. There's transportation, there are logistics around traveling are just too many to mention. So yeah, don't dwell on negative stuff, don't dwell on these events. And actually, for me, they are not negative as such. They are just lessons along the way. They are just memories. Because all the trips I can remember in my life, something happened in that trip. Like something that someone could say, oh, that was a negative thing. For me, this is all part of a journey. If I was to now be telling someone stories of my travel, this falls as one of the major stories to tell. And I'm not going to be crying about it or crying about the money I spent or whatever. I'll be thinking about the memories we made, how funny it was. We laughed about it. We sat down, we had a good meal, and next day we were off to another destination. And here we are having fun here like we planned to come here. So again, for you out there who are easily disheartened by certain things happening in your life, not just traveling, then you throw everything away just because one thing has gone, unexpectedly. That's not how life goes. Life is not linear. Life is not rigid. You have to be flexible, easy, open-minded. You have to see the silver lining in every dark cloud, and that way you get to survive. Be thankful that you can even travel. Be thankful that you're alive, you're healthy, you're having fun, you have your friends, you have people around you. Just that's more than enough. Long video, but yeah, I wanted to explain why we are in Malaysia and not Vietnam. Anyway, I'll go back to Vietnam at some point. I still think it's a beautiful country. They have lots of visa issues. I feel like they are taking money from Kenyans and not delivering the visas. And they should just say there's a ban. And then Kenyans don't have to worry about traveling to Vietnam. Because I know many people, not just us, that have had the same problem with Vietnam. So yeah, guys, that's the story, and that's why we are now in Malaysia. So this video will be titled how I ended up in Malaysia after boarding a flight to Vietnam. How I ended up in Malaysia after boarding a flight to Vietnam. That will be the title of this video. Anyway, guys, I hope that makes sense. Gym Coaching Travel 2025 July Asia trip coming to an end soon. It's been fun, it's been real, it's been awesome. We are looking forward to Bahrain, then Qatar, then Zambia, then Euro Tour. So yeah, life continues. On to the next, on to the next. Until next time, guys, I'm out. One last view of where I am. Hola. Nice. So I'll try and do more videos later today for Malaysia. Those who haven't been to Malaysia, I think I've done a video on Malaysia, to be honest. So yeah, I'll try and do another video. I'll try and do another video later. Oh, I was shooting that so close. I'll try and do another video later, guys. Cheers. And the video will just be Malaysia 2025 gym coaching trip. I'm out. Bye.